call to order special town council meeting for January 12th. We could rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Mike Aurelio.
Here.
Brian Blazak.
Present.
Wayne Pondinas.
Present.
Mike Schilling.
Here.
Gerald Swetz.
Here.
Chris Salatis.
Here.
And David Westland.
Present.
Beth Hernandez, present.
Okay, we have a quorum. Item number 4 is election of officers. Do I have nominations for the office of president?
Yeah, I'd like to nominate Brian Blazak for president.
Okay, thank you. Any other nominations?
I'd rather not have it, thanks.
I'll nominate Jerry Swetz.
Okay, are there any other nominations? Should we do a roll call? Is the easiest way to do that?
Well, I mean, Brian, yeah, you should do a roll call, but Brian
Defers?
did not accept the nomination, so, sorry.
All right.
So you're really at one nomination, but you still need to do a roll call vote on it.
Okay, roll call, please.
Mike Aurelio.
This is a simple yes then, since there's...
Yeah, since there's only one, it would be a yes or no.
Yes.
Brian Blazak.
Yes.
Wayne Pondinas.
No.
Mike Schilling.
Yes.
And Gerald Swetz.
Yes. That is approved 4-0. Do I have a nomination for? 4-1, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Do I have a nomination for vice
I'd
president?
like to nominate Mike Schillings.
Okay, do we have any other nominations? Roll call, please.
Mike Aurelio.
Yes.
Brian Blazak.
Yes.
Wayne Pondinas.
Yes.
Mike Schilling.
Yes.
And Gerald Swetz.
Yes. Okay, that is approved 5-0. Number 5 is public comment. Beth, do you have any?
Just one,
Okay.
which I had sent to Chris a little while ago. It is from Bill Manisopoulos of 10011 Parish Avenue. He'd like to ask the following question, which is under new business 7A. Is there a reason each professional service agreement is not listed separately as in years past?
No. We will cover them separately, but no. That's it? Okay. Joe Moore? You want to make a public comment, or?
In regard to,
I don't know, you signed in for public comment, so.
I'm sorry, I thought that was a sign-in sheet, my apologies.
Okay, no problem.
No comment.
All right, anybody else would like to make public comment? All right, we'll move on then to item number 6, which is the discussion period. So ideally, we were hoping to do a study session at this council meeting to kind of give an update on some of the things that are going on as far as development in the town. So some of the things that I wanted to cover were going to be the Kmart, Shops 96th, our 93rd Avenue improvements, the NIPSCO work that's going to be going on as far as the improvements to our power grid SCADA system, age-restricted TIF that we're working on 109th, Schilling development on the south side of town, our waterfront program, and also a couple other items that we'll cover up at the end. Was there any other ideas or questions from the floor? Otherwise, we will get into those. All right, so just briefly on the Kmart, I talked to Mr. Mark Hoffman back in November when the traffic signal went up about his desire to, or his willingness to, or whatever as far as his development goes. We agreed to meet. We met a couple of weeks ago. Because of COVID, we did it via Zoom and talked about some ideas. We kicked some ideas around about things that we'd like to see, possibility of some of the things that he's done in the past. So we're going to share some notes back and forth, some drawings and some sketches, and probably get together within the next probably 3 or 4 weeks to have a follow-up meeting so we can try to get something on the table so that he can start working on that development. So that'll be, I'm anxious to see that going. As far as Shops 96, the road project is done. The traffic signal is up. There's still a big section in the back that is owned by Franciscan. That parcel is for sale, so that can be developed as part of the Shops 96 program. Franciscan doesn't plan to build there at this point. So that's something to look forward to. Also, Earl Drive continues through. We've got a couple of little areas back there behind the McDonald's where the road is not in very good shape. We would like to see that road improved, but the town does not own that property, does not own that road. But we are going to see what we can do here in the near future to try to remedy that, to make that an improvement. As far as the 93rd Avenue project, Mike, can you address that a little bit, Mr. Schilling? What we're planning to do there?
Yeah, we're gonna widen out the intersection at 93rd and 41. The first group engineering has been working on it pretty much all summer. Right now, we're waiting on a decision with the church as to if we're gonna need to purchase the property on the would be the south side of 93rd. We'll need some additional property to widen that intersection. And hopefully, if all goes well, it will go out to bid the first quarter of this year.
Okay, thank you. We were notified by NIPSCO that they are going to upgrade the power grid in town, which is going to tie up White Oak for the next probably number of months. They're going to do it in phases. The first phase will run from on White Oak and 93rd down to their power substation, which is around 102nd. They're thinking that's going to be around 4 weeks, give or take a little bit, depending on weather. Second phase will be from the that substation south all the way to 109th, which will be another 4-week or so project. And while they're doing that, White Oak is going to be closed, except for local traffic. So they're gonna have some traffic aids around to help make sure that we can work around some of those areas. The third phase will be running along 109th. While they're doing that, 109th will not be totally closed, but they will have some traffic aids to get us around through that area as well. So something to look forward to for the next couple of months at least.
Jerry, can I
Can-
interject a comment?
Sure.
They have dropped in my backyard, which is on White Oak, they probably dropped 10 to 12 posts. I don't know if that's intended use is for White Oak, but they have a bunch of tarping and that laid down. And I have a feeling that they're just using my backyard for a storage area. They've got plywood laid down and soil capture for environmental protection. They did that the other day, and they've got all these posts sitting on my, on the, right by the road. It's not off the easement, it's not on the easement, but close.
Okay.
They're gonna put some poles there, Brian. I talked to the guy today. They're also gonna run power lines down 41, and they're asking, somebody was out there today talking about getting on the internet and advising when the roads are gonna be closed. We did have the public going through there today, trying to get through, because the guy said, I live right over here. I would ask the public that, the signage and all that might not always be right. Today it was. Just adhere to what they're trying to tell you. There could be delays, but everything is staged at the Kmart parking lot right now. That's why you see that somebody thought they're going to demolish the Kmart, and they're not. That's all NIPSCO. ARC is doing the work. So just be patient. It's going to take a while. They're going to run power lines down 41, like I said. They're going to run 2 lines down White Oak. One is going to be for everybody, and then the other one, if there's trouble, while they're doing the work, they can run everybody on the second line. So some people will be without power, but not everybody. So just be patient, and they'll get the updates to the town so they can put on the website. But remember, not everything is perfect, so if they say it's going to be closed and it's open, or vice versa, just be patient with them.
Okay. And then another thing we've done is we've upgraded our SCADA system, which is our water distribution and monitoring system. Wayne, did you want to cover that briefly?
Yeah, that's being paid as they go. Both sanitary and waterworks are paying. Last time they questioned wastewater number 7, which was the 7th payment. So each department, or each board they're paying approximately a little under 50,000. So that's close to 700,000 that's already paid. It's on a 12-month pay period, I think. So number 7 payment was just made last month, so it's doing good. And the water side of that should be done sometime in March. So the panels are built, everything is all set up for it, and everything's ready to go. Tomorrow we have a water main project meeting. There's probably 4 or 5, 6 different water mains they're going to replace. There's a water main on where the court tile used to be, across the front of that. That's going to be like $1.5 million if that's in there. We have to do wells 8 and 9. We're going to get item permits for that. We got, well, the property for 9 is, we have it, but there's some question with it as to how it's set up. And that's going to go all along with the wells 8 and 9 and building the well houses, but they still have to run the transition line to go into the building. They got 600 feet more to go from Redeemer Church, but they also have to run a line from well 9 up to Klein Avenue. So that's going to take a while, and it's hard to get plastic pipe. So, and the plastic pipe is called C900. And the only other thing I got is Suncrest Church. We have an opportunity to use that for a community center, or purchase it, or look at it. The park department has, asked the town council to come out and look at it, and at our leisure, and see what we think of it. I've already toured the place, so you guys got an invitation to come out there and look at it if you want.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you, Wayne. Next one was our age-restricted TIF that we're working on. We just redrew our TIF along the 109th, and we're going to include some of the age-restricted housing there, which is going to allow us to do some improvements to some of the roads, 109th and Klein, 109th and Parish, in conjunction with some of the state projects. Jack from Schilling Development is here, and I asked him to come and speak a little bit about what they're working on around the south side of town.
Sure. Good evening, Jack Slager with Schilling Development. Thank you for having me tonight. And the council had asked me to come and just give an update. I know there's been a lot of rumors and speculation as to what all we've got going on. Most people associate Schilling Development with high-quality residential developments, but the Schilling family and their various companies do own a substantial amount of commercial property in St. John, both up and down 41 and on 231, just off of 41. Recently, you've seen the demolition of the Chop House along with the vape shop and the 3 homes there. There are no specific plans for that area at this point. They just wanted to clean up that corner and potentially have it ready for a development when it comes along. I can say that the Schillings are very selective about what type of commercial development goes on their properties, and we get a lot of inquiries for the usual, the gas stations, the car washes, the Dollar Generals, and we turn those down pretty quickly. So we do hope to have some exciting plans going for the property north of the Shrine. We own the land all the way up to the town's water treatment plant on the west side of 41. Ultimately, that area is planned, the town thoroughfare plan has a future stoplight planned for that area. We hope that someday the Franciscan will develop their property that they own on the east side, and we have about 25 acres that could be developed on the west side of 41 between the Shrine and the water treatment plant. Potentially, if the town is able to work out the liquor license district where they're able to get some additional liquor licenses for that area, we could envision that becoming a nice draw where we could get potentially anywhere from 6 to 8 to 10 nice restaurants with some outdoor dining, take advantage of some of the nature areas there. A lot of that would be cohesive to the Shrine and what the audience that they attract, we'd like to see a restaurant come that has some banquet facilities that could work in conjunction with the shrine. They get a lot of bus tours that come down during the summer for tours. Most of the time, they end up sending, after the buses do their tours, they send them up to T-Bowls for lunch. And so if we could get a restaurant and a banquet facility in that area, ultimately, I think the Schillings would like to see maybe a boutique hotel in that area, something where there could be some overnight stays. And so we've got a lot of possibilities. That area historically has always been in the floodplain, and so that was why it was unbuildable for so long. The town recently completed their portion of the work that was required to remove all that land from the floodplain. So the actual dirt work and earthwork portion of that is done now. It will probably take about another year for all the remaining permits between IDEM and DNR and FEMA for that land to be completely removed from the flood zone, and then that all becomes buildable, developable land. So that's basically what we have going in a nutshell. If you've got any questions about any other specific areas, I'd be glad to answer them.
Well, that's the one I was hoping that you would highlight, so. Anybody else have any questions for Jack?
I would just maybe add a comment, is that I'm thrilled and excited to see what is put there. Those are great ideas. I think the council is excited about working with that area and making it the best possible location possible in town. So.
Yeah, the south side of town's going to be exciting. Having the Franciscan own a big piece of land down there is exciting. I do believe they intend to do something with that piece of land. That'll be a great draw for professional area, offices, restaurants. It could end up being really nice.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, Jack.
Thank you.
So that kind of ties into the next one, which is the waterfront program. Mike, can you highlight that a little bit and give us an idea where that's going?
Yes, no problem. So that same area that Jack was just referring to, the area on 41, I think the Riverfront District, we can possibly extend it all the way down to 231 to 109th, and then also encompassing shops on 96th. So what this would allow us to do is to issue limited amount of low-cost liquor licenses. If anybody who's familiar with the liquor license process, St. John does not have any right now available. So if anybody wanted to come and open up a nice restaurant or anything in town that would have a balanced menu where they'd serve wine or anything, that is not available. They would have to buy that at a very, very high cost. So this Riverfront District that we're working on through the Economic Development Committee would allow that development, would assist the development we were just referring to. The process, so we've been hard at work with this process. Our vision is to continue with this and possibly have it done as soon as 4 months. I have a schedule in front of me. I know it's aggressive, and I hope we can keep to it. So maybe we can have this process done in maybe in the first quarter. Wouldn't that be great? That process would have to go through the RDC, the Plan Commission, and then eventually the Town Council. My hope is that we'll get hard at work and we'll complete that process. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, sir. I did have one request, and it was a question about our sirens, our warning siren system in town, and so we are going to address that as well. We've got a number of areas in town that aren't covered or aren't covered very well by our warning system, so we're looking at that to see what we need to do to remedy that situation as well. So that's kind of what I had in mind, and since there wasn't anybody else that had any ideas, we'll go on to the next phase, number 7. That's new business. That will be our consider a professional services agreement. First one I have is with Westland and Bennett for our attorney services for the town. Do I have a motion?
So move.
Second.
Okay, questions or comments? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. That is approved 5-0. Next one would be with Adam Decker, which is the representative for the Plan Commission, BZA, and Board of Safety. Do I have a motion to approve Adam Decker, attorney at law?
So moved.
Second?
Thank you. Questions or comments? All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Those opposed, say nay. That is approved 5-0. Next one would be for Haas and Associates for miscellaneous engineering projects around the town. Do I have a motion to approve Haas for the engineering projects?
So moved?
Second.
Questions or comments?
Yeah, I should have asked a couple on the previous ones.
Okay.
How much have they gone up, percentage-wise? Or have they gone up at all? Are they going up by 3%, 5%, 10?
I can answer mine. 2.3%,
Okay.
like from 190 to 190.
Yeah, because these are almost the same prices as last year, just a little bit. Okay.
Yeah, they're all pretty much in line, from what I understand. I don't know the exact numbers. Okay. That's sufficient? Plain?
Yeah.
Okay. So then I'll call for the question. All in favor of approving Haas for the engineering project signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. That is approved 5-0. And then for our financial advisor, we've got a number of proposals in front of us. Do I have a motion?
Yes, I'd like to make a motion to appoint Sender and Dalton municipal advisors as a financial advisor to the town of St. John generally, the St. John Redevelopment Commission, the St. John Water and Sanitary District, and special projects as directed by the town, and Baker Tilly municipal advisors as a financial advisor to the clerk treasurer's office, which would include any special projects as directed by the clerk treasurer. I would add that my motion includes authority for the town manager to sign an agreement with Sender, Dalton municipal advisors and Baker Tilly municipal advisors to effectuate the intent of this motion.
Okay. Do I have support for that motion?
Second.
Questions, comments?
Yeah, I'd like to know why we're having another accountant come in to work with Baker Tilly. We've had Baker Tilly now for 2 years with no help. It came up on the email yesterday, so somebody has had to discuss this or brought it up because you have a representative from Sender, and they do a good job, not complaining about them.
Right.
But why do we have another accountant come in to help out? There's got to be a reason, or?
Yeah, we decided to make a change in who handles the general stuff for the town. So we had a committee do some interviews, and they are recommending Sender.
And who was on the committee?
Mr. Aurelio and Mr. Blazak, I believe, correct?
Brian and I.
Yes.
And why wasn't everybody else that's on the town council at least given notice to, hey, do you want to do this, or do you want to partake in it? Again, there's elected 5 people on this board, and 5 people should have at least the courtesy of knowing what's going on. Not getting an email the day before and saying, okay, this is what we're gonna do. Again, the Sender unit is not my question, it's just how that was done. Carl Sender has done a lot of stuff for this town. I respect him, but we didn't have no discussion on other than 2 or 3 people.
So Chris, can you speak to the timing of some of that?
It's a policy decision by the town council. As far as the timing wise, this is done beginning of every year. And it was a decision, again, by council members to make the change.
No, it's
What's it being considered?
yeah, no, your comment is noticed, I understand.
Well, you know what I'm saying. I mean,
I do.
If you come to a meeting, you would want to know, okay, why is this happening?
Right.
And, I should have been notified at least out of courtesy, a professional courtesy.
Yeah, so I kind of left that in the hands of the committee, like, kind of like I did with the liaison appointments and things like that, and so, yeah, I apologize for not getting that information out sooner.
But you look at their agreement, and they're gonna be at meetings like this, or gonna be virtual or whatever, and I don't know if it's gonna be with Baker Tilly the same way, but that's gonna add up. And we have, you know, the public's complaining about our expenses with legal and with engineering, and now we're gonna add another accounting firm to this.
Well, we're only gonna have them here when we need them. They're not gonna be here every meeting.
Oh, well, I skimmed through this.
Yeah.
And I highlighted that part.
Yeah, they're not.
Okay.
They're not gonna be at every meeting. They'll be as needed, same way that we did with Baker Tilly. Okay, so, yeah, I'm gonna call for the question. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay.
Nay, I'm for one, but not the other.
Okay. So should I do these separate, or is that satisfactory?
I think we should probably give
Do it separate?
Wayne the courtesy of
Okay.
voting
All right, so.
yes for the one,
Right.
and get
so
that on
let's
the
make that-
record.
Could you make that two separate motions, Mike?
So should I we have a first and we have a second, so do we want to just amend that?
No, just restate your motion, just including this.
I mean, I think it passed the way it was, but I just want to make sure, you know, for Wayne's benefit,
Sure,
you know, he
sure.
wants to vote, and he has the right to vote the way, you know, that he wants to vote. So
That's right.
if you just make two separate motions, then, and then he can vote his conscience on both of them, and then that can be noted.
So,
So a motion to approve sender as detailed
Previously.
previously would be your motion.
okay, so I'll make that motion to approve sender Dalton Municipal Advisors for the town council, water, so I might as well make it official here. So I make a motion to approve sender Dalton Municipal Advisors as a financial advisor to the town of St. John generally, the St. John Redevelopment Commission, the St. John Water and Sanitary District, and special projects as directed by the town.
Okay, so Brian, you had the second. Are you okay with that change?
I'll second. yeah.
Okay. Then all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay.
Hey,
That is 4-1. And then your other motion?
Sure. I would like to make a motion to accept Baker Tilly Municipal Advisors as the financial advisor to the clerk treasurer's office, which would include any special projects as directed by the clerk treasurer.
And your Brian, your second is okay with that?
Second is fine.
Okay, all in favor signify by saying aye.
aye.
Opposed, say nay. That is approved 5-0. Okay. So before I move on, Mr. Westland, do those motions have to require us to authorize someone to sign?
I think your previous motion authorized the town manager to sign.
Okay.
So, and I noticed, you know, in reviewing the packet, the agreements that were sent, I think the agreement that Sender Dalton, municipal advisor, sent over is satisfactory to sign, but I think there were several proposed agreements with regard to Baker Tilly, and we'll just have to make sure that the agreement you sign is reflective of what the motion that passed.
Okay. All right, thank you. Item number 8 would be board and commission appointments. So, as we get into the board and commission appointments, I wanted to point out two of them specifically up front. And that is the brand-new stormwater the board that we have. We've got two members that we're going to appoint to that, which are both Republicans. And so we need a third member, but that third member cannot be a Republican, so it needs to be an independent or a Democrat. So we're looking for somebody to serve on the Stormwater Board. And also, we just had a resignation on the Plan Commission. One of our Democrat appointees resigned today or yesterday. So we need a non-Republican to fill that position as well. So it can be an independent, it can be whatever, just can't be somebody who's voted Republican in the last couple of primaries. With that, we will go on to our board appointments. Going down the list, our Board of Zoning Appeals, John Kennedy's appointment as the town council representative is expiring. Drago Popovic, his term is expiring, and Mark LaRue's term is expiring, and we are going to reappoint all three of those. And I will do these all, and then we'll do one motion at the end to approve them if there's no objections. Contractors Board, John Gill, Steve Kozel, and Richard Hoover all expired, and we are going to reappoint all of those. On the Economic Development Commission, those are all one-year appointments. So we are appointing returning members John DeYoung, Kelly Stoming, Rob Godoy, Joseph Berry, David Beeshold, and appointing new members Scott Bell and Emily Warren. On the Park Board, Patrick Connolly's term is expiring, and he is going to be reappointed. The Redevelopment Commission, we are appointing Stacy Daniels to the Redevelopment Commission. On the Sanitary Board, Kim Kroll's term is expiring, and she's being reappointed to the Sanitary District. Safety Board, Rob Kometz and Steve DeYoung's term are expiring, and they are both being reappointed. And on the Waterworks, which are one-year appointments, Nick Furtek, Ken Gambala, and Bill Manasopoulos are all being reappointed there. And then on the new Stormwater Board, Joe Moore and Bill Manasopoulos will be appointed there. Bob Valoy will serve on that committee also as an advisor. That is all I have. So do I have a motion to approve those appointments?
So moved.
And support?
Second.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. That is approved 5-0. Thank you, gentlemen. As far as town liaisons to boards and commissions, we have for Mike Aurelio, Mike Schilling will be handling the Safety Board, the Chamber of Commerce, and Lake County Solid Waste. Mike Aurelio will handle the Economic Development Committee and the Park Board. Jerry Swets will handle the Safety Village and the Northwest Indiana Regional Planning Commission. Brian Blazak will handle the Plan Commission and the Board of Zoning Appeals. And Wayne Pondinas will handle the Waterworks, the Sanitary Board, and the Stormwater Boards. Does that need a motion? I have a motion to approve those.
So moved.
Is there support?
Second.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. That is approved. We move on to number 8, reports and correspondence. Town Council, Mr. Pondinas.
Oh, yeah. For the town council, what was the amount that we finally figured out that we lost with the grant money? Chris was gonna figure that out. It was like 398 or 400,000?
That's all we've been.
I mean, what did we come up with? I mean,
That is the final number that we've got so far. We've not had any other notifications from the state.
okay, so we
Can we
haven't,
clarify a little bit? What was that again? The amount lost? What does that mean?
I don't have that number directly in front of me, but what Wayne had quoted
It's in that
is
neighborhood.
about right. Again, just off of memory. That is money that we had to return because some roads were removed from I believe it was the 2019 Community Crossroads Grant, and then put into the 2020 Community Crossroads Grant that were paved the following year. Since they weren't done under the 2019 grant, we had to refund money back to the state that we were awarded for that grant cycle. And that was the last communication I've had from the state in regards to how much money was owed back from the town. Since then, they've given us the closeout papers, which I believe I forwarded onto the town council some time ago, that showed that the 2019 and 2020 grants were closed out from MnDOT.
Thank you.
So just so you understand, when we did the 2019 Community Crossing Grant, we did that based on an estimate of what it was gonna cost to fix all the roads. The problem was when the engineers came in and looked at the roads that wanted to be done, the original estimate was only $4 million in paving, and a lot of the roads needed some significant repairs. I know 93rd project that we were working on was gonna be, I think, an additional 100,000. Joliet was an additional 100,000. Almost every road required some additional work in order to get it up to where we could do the milling and paving. So we had to drop a number of those roads off. And so the 50% portion that we got from the state, we had to refund the state. To my knowledge, there wasn't any penalties for that, correct?
They did not penalize us. They just asked for the money back that were associated with the roads that were removed from the paving list.
Okay. That answer your question?
I think so.
Okay. Anything else?
No.
Mr. Schilling?
No, I don't have anything.
Mr. Willio?
We've covered earlier. Thank
Mr. Blazak?
In July 13th, our road impact fee went into effect. And to date, for 2021, for 191 units, we billed out and received $470,560 and change. So we're almost $500,000 available for brand-new roads as outlined in the road impact fee,
Okay.
which is very nice since it will not impact residents' taxes whatsoever.
All right. Thank you, sir. I have nothing. Beth?
Just one item. So while I appreciate the motion for my office to retain Baker Tilly as our financial consultants, in the future, I would appreciate my input being requested. The town of St. John has had a top-notch experience with Baker Tilly, and I am personally delighted to retain them. But I would appreciate the professional courtesy of some dialogue and input prior to the council making a decision like that on my office's behalf. Thank you.
Okay. Chris?
I think you covered it. I have nothing.
Mr. Westland?
I don't have anything.
Okay.